Remember me? Probably not. I wanted you to play the final bosses from the Game Gear games in Sonic Gems. You had a random game of the day of the Genesis ones, and it's one of my favorite videos. It also apparently makes good background noise. Hello everyone, Andrew here, and you know, if I can have fun playing a video game and also make someone happy at the same time, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to pop back in Sonic Gems collection here, and what that person's actually referring to is, I think it was Random Game of the Day 60. There in the menus options here, which I always thought was really cool. Sonic Gems Collection is a very neat game overall. Still a couple things I haven't unlocked actually. On the last page here, in Random Game of the Day 60, we played through all 10 of these kind of things. Actually, no, we didn't play through. Did we play through all 10? These three actually look... No, we did the first 7, and then these two, or these three rather, are a little bit different. And what we did was it takes you immediately to the final boss of those games, like Sonic 1, Sonic 2, even Sonic Spinball and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. And we just did that. We beat, or actually I don't think we actually ended up beating, but we played all 7 of them, and we tried our best to beat them, but Sonic Spinball and stuff wasn't always games I was good at. And that comment is saying that all those years ago I considered coming back to this and playing the Game Gear ones as well, and you know, why not, right? So let's get right to it. It looks like we have Sonic the Hedgehog 1, Sonic Labyrinth, Sonic Drift, Sonic Chaos, Sonic Blast, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine on the Game Gear. So we're going to see just how many of these 6 we can actually beat. So here we go. Oh, and there's also a menu we have to press A. Here we go for real this time. Just in case the controls weren't obvious. Overall, Sonic games are not games that really require a whole bunch of controls in most cases. I mean, maybe the newer ones, but the older ones, it was literally just, you know, move around. And then there was one button, which was kind of, you know, the do everything button. It would jump, and if you held down, you could do a spin dash. Yeah, okay, so in the Game Gear Sonic the Hedgehog 1, final boss is a little bit different. Rather than Robotnik coming up from the ground inside kind of the crushing things, he just stays off to the right, and you need to not get killed by the fire coming up and continually make your way over to the right of the screen, and you know, don't do exactly what I just did right there. Sonic the Hedgehog, or basically not just the first one, but all of the ones on the Game Gear, were actually rather interesting. They were never usually just like, you know, stealing directly from their Genesis counterparts. Like for example, the first Sonic the Hedgehog on the Game Gear starts in Green Hill Zone, but then it goes to like Bridge Zone, and so it's weird how it looks like it tries to start out like the Genesis game, and then just kind of goes completely on its own. Did I glitch the... Well, okay, I don't think I've ever done that before. There we go. We broke the final battle, and then Robotnik, you know, as he always does, somehow run faster than Sonic at the end of the game, despite the fact that Sonic is supposed to be so fast. He runs away and he escapes, and we follow him through this teleporter, and I don't think there's like a second stage to this. And now he's just flying away very slowly. But yeah, it's really neat how the Game Gear games were kind of their own thing. And based on the way that they're just titled, aha, we still got him. And, you know, Sonic, Sonic 2, you would think that they would be almost kind of ports, but they're definitely worth playing if you haven't played them. And play them on a collection. In most cases, you would think, yeah, play them on the original hardware. But in the case of the Game Gear, I've never been a fan of playing games on the Game Gear screen. It's just so awkward to hold and kind of see. Should also be noted that I think all of these kind of things, it also has all of the emeralds when you beat them as well. So you get the technically best ending when beating the game, so that's kind of cool. Overall, Sonic 1 was not a very hard game to beat, and I don't think I'm going to stop this. We're going to wait until that clock runs out. So they give you a ton of lives to fight each of the bosses with, but they also give you a time limit, which is rather interesting. I guess so you can't then go back and restart all the games from the beginning. It's kind of weird because all of the games that we can fight the final bosses for here are not games that are included in their full version in the collection. It's really strange overall. But getting back to my first thought, I guess I'll conclude that one. It almost would have been better if they had called the Sonic games on the Game Gear like Sonic Land or something like that, you know, stealing from Mario Land. Because if Nintendo had just called it, you know, Super Mario Brothers 1 on the Game Boy and Super Mario Brothers 2 instead of Super Mario Land 1 and 2, you know, people would have had probably a much different impression of what they were, you know, expecting when they bought the games. So I think they definitely made kind of a weird decision, just calling it Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and then they went to Sonic Triple Trouble for the third one. Then there was Sonic Chaos, which was kind of weird, title-wise, although the game is actually very nice. But yeah, I definitely recommend, if you're going to play these games in their full, to either do it on one of the collections, like Sonic Gems Collection. You can unlock them in Sonic Adventure Director's Cut. You can play them here. You know, Sonic Mega Collection Plus had them, or you could play them on the Master System as well. They all also had Master System releases, which is really neat. And I own Sonic 1 and 2 and Chaos on the Master System, so you know you can play it on the big screen. Again, in its original form, not in any kind of emulation like we're doing here, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so in terms of fighting all these final bosses, this one was not particularly difficult. I don't think that remains the same for all the other ones. It's funny how Sonic 1, I mean, it's just another one of those things where it's not exactly the same, but it definitely mirrors it, where Sonic 1's final boss in both the Genesis and Game Gear versions is very basic. It's definitely kind of, you know, kind of anticlimactic after everything in a way. Not like some of, you know, the Mega Man games where you get this giant wily machine to fight. You know, the Sonic 1 definitely ends kind of with a bloop. And that's the end of that, but I don't think the other games on here are going to be nearly as easy for me. Did we actually do this fast enough that we can go back to the beginning? Yeah, so we had enough time after beating that we actually get to experience the beginning of Sonic 1, which is so strange. I mean, the whole game is on here, and yet they're only letting you play the end of it for some reason. And it's not like, you know, like as I mentioned, it wasn't included in other collections, so it kind of boggles the mind why they wouldn't have just made a super gigantic collection. And yes, fine, include the newer games on here that weren't on the other ones, like, you know, Sonic CD and Sonic Chaos, I believe, and Sonic Drift 2. But then let you also play Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2 and Sonic Drift, you know, 1 and stuff like that. I don't know. The whole thing makes no sense. There you go, the time cut out, and that's the end of that. The next game we're going to play, the final of, is actually Sonic Labyrinth. And Sonic Labyrinth is just the weirdest Sonic game. Again, I love it. B, same as button A. X, same as button A. Y, same as button A. L and R, not used. Why not just make it the same as button A? It seems like you do that with everything else anyway. Zone 4-4, Labyrinth of the Castle. This is what you get when you try to turn Sonic the Hedgehog into an overhead, I guess, kind of adventure game. It's very strange. And again, it just took us right to kind of where I guess the final boss is going to be, but we have to roll down this hill apparently before we get there. This is also eating up our time, which again is only 5 minutes. I guess where some of the Genesis games gave you longer, like 10? Well, I could be remembering that wrong. Alright, then we got to the bottom of the hill, and there is the boss. So this is going to be rather strange. I haven't played Sonic Labyrinth in a long time. The Game Gear just had so many interesting Sonic games. Again, I mean, you had 3 main Sonic games, so Sonic 1, 2, Sonic Triple Trouble. Then you had Sonic Chaos, which was literally just another platforming Sonic game. I might as well have called it Sonic 4. Then you had Sonic Labyrinth, which we're looking at right here. There's Sonic Blast, which we're about to play. And that's a very strange game, as you're going to see. And Sonic really moves as slow as molasses in this. Okay, but I think, remember how this works. It's very basic. This is probably one of the most basic final bosses ever. And yeah, I was just talking about how basic the last one was. But yeah, then there was the Sonic Drift games. There was some games where you play as Tails. The Game Gear was just this really strange haven of odd Sonic games. And yet, no one ever talks about the Game Gear in comparison to something like the Game Boy. And I think it's, again, just because it's so clunky, it's not really comfortable to play games on. And it took 6 batteries unless you wanted to plug it into the wall with an AC adapter, which of course then, you know, it kind of takes away the entire portable factor of it. But I think the worst part for me is just that it's hard to see the games on the screen unless you hold it in this perfect angle. Like, you think the 3DS is bad, or I mean, not anymore. This is years later now. You know, because the 3D only works when you hold it a very specific way. But I mean, at least you can still play it if you turn that off. But the Game Gear, you can only play it if you hold it a very specific way, and you know, that's not enjoyable. Okay, so it seems like we have more than one stage here. I also don't know how rings work in this game. Like, we picked up all those rings. If I get hit once, do we lose? Okay, so there, our question's not answered. So we lost all those rings, but did I lose all of the rings, or is that just like some of them? Because there's no ring counter on the screen, which is the point I was trying to make. And yeah, you walk really slow, but the spin dash, if you spin too long, can really just, you know, throw you around and stop. Somehow he gains speed as he ricochets off the walls. I don't think that's how physics work. Like, how are you supposed to just walk away from that? I don't know how I haven't been hit by it. Like, it's like he's constantly walking through quicksand. And man, this just takes a lot of hits for something that's really not very inspired once again. I'm also noticing the time, like, okay, stop. Oh yeah, I was going to say, if we lost, that one attempt took over half of the time, so I don't think we would have been able to beat the game, if we, you know, had to start again from the beginning of that. Or maybe it just skips the whole rolling down the hill part, I don't know, but there you go! We beat Sonic Labyrinth, so now we are 2 for 2. This is going much better than I thought it would. Oh, there he is. Hilariously, that is faster than even Sonic was running. I was going to make a comment about Robotnik's not running very fast this time, but, yeah, Sonic is just a bucket of molasses in this game. All zones clear, but it is not perfect! Sonic Labyrinth staff. Why is it not perfect? Is this not, you know, a perfect end? Just like Sonic 1 was, so why wouldn't they have done that for this? Or maybe even the person who got this save file already was, you know, they just did not like Sonic Labyrinth enough to actually collect everything in it. Again, Sonic Labyrinth is a game I haven't played in quite a while, so I don't remember exactly how it all works. I think you get like keys and then you have to find the end or something weird. It's a very strange game, and no one talks about it, I guess, because it's very strange. The GameCube overall was a very kind of like, you know, Sonic renaissance for me, where I never owned any Sega consoles growing up. Which sounds odd to say it, I mean, because I just loved video games so much as a kid. But I just never was drawn to Sega. Aside from like the Sonic games, there wasn't much that I wanted to play, so I always stuck with Nintendo consoles. It wasn't until Sony came out and I just couldn't resist anymore. You had the Crash and, you know, the Spyro and the Mega Man X games went over there, and there was Mega Man Legends, and, you know, there was just so many great things. I wasn't big into RPGs at the time, really, but of course if I was, you know, there would even be Final Fantasy. Sony PlayStation was the first time that I saw going away from Nintendo really justified. What is this? Secret command. I have no idea. Try again. Well, I mean, we got the secret command, so that's good enough for me. And look at that. Oh, but you even get like a star ranking at the end? That's pretty cool. Well, we didn't have enough time to actually experience the beginning of the game, so we'll never know what kind of game it actually is. But yes, the GameCube just had so many Sonic games and collections for Sonic games. So I really got to experience a lot of things that I hadn't experienced growing up on the GameCube, and I think that was really fun. Okay, so Sonic Drift is a game that, if you can tell from my driving, I have very little experience with. This is strange. So yeah, the drifting, I think, basically happens by letting go of the acceleration when you're going around corners. Well, we still ran into that thing. This is just very, you know, a 90s racing game-esque 80s, early 90s racing game. Okay. This is the one I probably should have read the controls for. Do we get controls? No, not if we... I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. So, okay, so I'm trying to figure out... Okay, so B. Maybe B. Okay, yes. So if I hold the A button, and then also press B, hold B while I'm holding the A button, that's how you drift. Okay. Okay, so see, we're learning. This is one with that, I guess, has a little bit more of a learning curve, although we're already down to under 2 minutes here. This is not going to be one of the ones that I succeed in, very likely. The final race of a game that I haven't even played in like 10 years. That's not really the way to jump in. I can, you know, wing it when it comes to the platforming games. I mean, I guess Sonic Labyrinth wasn't even really a platformer, but to wing a racing game, that'd be like popping in F-Zero GX and like, okay, beat the most difficult race, even though you've never played this game before. You know, people consider that like a super... Why am I spinning out? Oh, I guess because I'm holding B, but I'm trying to drift. I don't know. This game... And, you know, it even had a sequel. So, I just don't know what to make of Sonic Drift. Sonic Drift is not a game that will ever appear on any top 10 list made by me, unless it's the top 10 most awkward Sonic games. And it will probably be number 1, actually. I think Sonic Labyrinth and the Sonic game that we're about to play are probably even more awkward than this. I mean, this is a racing game, and I guess it's good at being a racing game, but it's an awkward racing game at the same time. The winner was Eggman. Here he's actually called Eggman, which is strange because he wasn't really called Eggman in North American stuff, I don't think, until Sonic Adventure. And was this... I can't imagine that something as weird as this came out after Sonic Adventure. Although I still have 15 points after all that. So yeah, we won! Even though we didn't win, we totally won! Okay. I mean, I guess I don't mind. Yeah, look at that thumbs up. That is just an awkward thumbs up. Congratulations. I was totally expecting a typo. And it's the staff. Main producer is Wada. I mean, and Shin-chan, you know, back when video games were just so, you know, not taken seriously that people would put, like, nicknames into the credits. I know, you know, the Mega Man games were always good for that. There, just K. Literally someone, the name of K. Where I beat the game. That's crazy. So I guess we're technically 3 for 3? That's funny that you don't even have to win that race in order to get the credit sequence. But now something much more natural. What were the controls for that one? Accelerate, brake, steer. Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not sure how I could have done any better, I guess, except for practice makes perfect. But next up is a game, yeah, much more my natural habitat, Sonic Chaos, which should literally have just been, you know, another Sonic game with a number after it. But I guess they took my suggestion instead of calling it Sonic, you know, 1, 2, and 3, just to confuse people in regards to... Oh. Okay, well that's the thing that happened. Yeah, I can't say I remember too much about the ending of Sonic Chaos, although I have beat it. It's a very good game. Again, as you can see, you know, it's just Sonic platforming at its best, and the music is also very excellent too, I have to admit. Okay, so I guess we're supposed to jump out of that. I didn't even get into the car the first time. The music's very cool. The Sonic Game Gear games definitely did not slack in the music department. No Sonic game really does. Well, I was just kind of relaxing there. But yeah. Yeah, they called it Sonic Chaos, which is a very awkward name for a Sonic game, considering it's just a very typical platformer. Okay, so definitely looks like it's going to be a little bit trickier than the Sonic 1 boss already. I'm guessing we have to run through that whole thing at the beginning every single time we die. So we go down the hill. Yeah, so you have to jump out of the car, and you have to run across these things which have literally no chance of hitting you unless you stop. It's just kind of a time waster. Okay, so 8 lives left, 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Okay, so we gotta take this seriously now. Time to get into serious mode. For the first time in this video, I didn't take Sonic Drift very seriously, and we somehow still won at that. So, you know, if that's how, you know, you can do it, then I guess that's how you do it. So that attack's not too bad, because it's literally just goes forward. There's kind of a weird bounce off of his head after you jump on it. And it sent me right into that. Like, I was holding right, but the bounce sent me to the left. I can see this being kind of tricky. But at least there's good music to listen to every time we come back to this point. Yeah, Sonic Chaos, definitely play if you ever have the chance. Especially if you can play it on, like, you know, Sonic DX or... since it's a boss thing in this game, I guess you can't play the full version in Sonic Gems Collection, but you could play it on Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which was very oddly not released for the GameCube. Like, Sonic Mega Collection 1 was on the GameCube, and for some reason, Mega Collection Plus was only on PS2. So yeah, I tried to get away from that. The PS2 and Xbox. Maybe it was a disc size thing, because it included all the games from the original one, plus a whole ton of Game Gear games and stuff. Could have been something like that. Although I can't imagine that old Genesis games take up a massive amount of disk space either, so I don't know about that one. Either way, the old Sonic games are awesome, and I suggest that everybody play them. Now, as I was saying at some point, serious time. I mean, it doesn't help either that, like, the screen size is very small, so that thing bouncing around, while it wouldn't be probably too much of an issue on, like, a Genesis Sonic game where the screen is much bigger, this one, there's not much room to really get away from it, and, yeah, didn't have much time to react to that one either. Because I didn't want to jump on him and then get sent into the bouncing thing, and then the second that the bouncing thing disappeared, I attempted to jump, and that was when I got shot. Okay. Okay, so ride down that thing, run across these things, jump on this thing. Yeah, I could do without the repetitive beginning part. This is where any other Let's Player would make like a save state right there, so they didn't have to do it every time, but no save states on this channel. Okay. Not that, I mean, yeah, you can't even make a save state in a thing like this. That was one of the weird things, was that you could make save states in like the Game Gear Sonic games when you were playing them as part of like, you know, the normal game. I tried to jump there and I was getting kind of repelled back to the floor. And I always use those features as kind of like if I have to turn it off or something like that and, you know, come back to it later. Those are very useful, but overall, I've never been one to really enjoy using save states in my game, because if you just put a save state before like the difficult part, well, that's no fun. Gotta play it as it was intended. Alright. Okay, so I also see the clock up there. We have 1 minute. So this is probably like one of our last real chances. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh! I tried to react. I pressed the right button, but the controls are a little stiff. There is a spin dash in this game, I think, right? Can we give that a shot? Yes, there is. Although it doesn't help you get there any faster because you just end up inside the sled thing anyway. So this one might be a bust. We might not beat this one, but I'm rather curious because I'm forgetting the exact how this boss goes. This can't be the only stage. That'd be like the wimpiest Robotnik final boss robot ever, if you don't include, like, I guess the Sonic Labyrinth one. Ugh. That thing is just nasty. Okay, so no point in just trying again since we're gonna run out of time anyway. We're gonna try this one more time. I'm gonna cut out the whole beginning thing. So see you when we get there. Okay, here we go. There's not really much strategy for this. It's kind of just like, hope that he uses attacks that don't destroy you. Yeah, see, like this one. Okay, so ducking in that corner. And it's not even like it's a set pattern where I say, okay, if I duck there, I know I'll be safe, because it depends on where he shoots it from in the first place. Whoa! I don't know exactly how that happened, actually. Okay. Yeah, that was really weird. So do I not have to jump out of that then? But it definitely doesn't... It feels like it's going to send you right into the hole if you just stay in it. I don't know. It's very odd. I mean, why is the sled even there in the first place? There's literally no reason for it when you can run just as fast. These questions. Okay, so see, that attack's fine because it does nothing. And then I tried to get away from that, but I still ended up getting hit by it. And see, that time, I didn't jump out of it, and it just goes right into the hole. So how did the sled make it over to where those kind of buttons with the lasers are then? That other time, I don't know. Sonic Chaos. Maybe the programmers were like, what is with this game? You know, this random things are happening all the time. Man, just name it Sonic, you know, glitches, chaos, something along those lines. No one's gonna care anyway. People bought Sonic 1 and 2 on the Game Gear, and you know, it's not even the same as Sonic 1 and 2, so clearly naming is just a thing that is pointless for everything. Okay. 2, 3, I'm wondering how many... Okay, so see, Okay, please keep using that attack, please. Please keep using that attack. Whoa. Okay, so that thing's doing a thing. Ah! It's amazing how you can duck down in this corner, and it's like you can make yourself so small, and it still found me. It still found me. You know, the sequence that we got last time, though, was fantastic. He just kept shooting forward. If you can not do the one that bounces off of the walls, that would be excellent. You know, like that. So what is... Oh, then, before I was pressing the A button, but there's this weird kind of delay when you hit the ground before it lets you jump again. And yeah, that was the end of me. Music is still good. Although, every time it starts to get to, like, a note that's... Or, like, you know, a sequence that's different than just the beginning couple of bleeps and bloops, we get to this boss, which totally ruins it. Okay, so... I always like to duck in that corner because I feel like there's no way it's going to hit me. But at the same time, I feel like if I jump back to the left, I'm still going to get hit by it. It's just, it always feels like when he shoots that, it's kind of an unwinnable situation. Oh, he can look up too, even though I'm not sure that actually serves any purpose. Looking up and down was something that Sonic kind of did, you know, long before Mario can do it. And then, Mario World came along and they're like, we'll show you, Sega! And they added in, Actually, is there an upwards looking animation in Mario World? Yes, there is. Pretty sure there is. Oh, I paused it to take a drink of water, not realizing that the time on the right was still going to run down. Whoops! Well, Robotnik, let's see if we can beat you in 9 seconds. 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. And, wow, hilariously, I still had enough time to get destroyed, even with that little amount of time. I think that's just a sign that this one is a lost cause. Wow, that boss is just silly. I mean, I definitely feel like if I took the time, I would get it eventually, but ugh. Small screen sizes and attacks that bounce off walls are clearly something that I am not strong against. So much for being back in my, you know, forte, but here we have Sonic apparently trying to rip off Donkey Kong Country on the Game Gear for some reason, where you have like a 3D kind of effect going on, but it's a 2D side-scroller. Okay, so we have 99 rings. I mean, I guess it's called Sonic Blast, and if you look at the cover art for the game, it almost looks like kind of Sonic 3D Blast, yet it's nothing like Sonic 3D Blast. Okay, so it seems like this boss, you stand on here and then you jump up and you hit him. In this game, I remember it's also very weird because when you get hit, you do not lose all your rings at once. You lose only 10. And I don't know, can we hit you from down here, or do we have to jump on this platform in the middle first? Because I think it makes a different sound when you jump on him while he has like that arrow showing up. I don't know, like, why is there even an arrow on that screen? It's kind of like, okay, Sonic, hit me up here. It's kind of, just overall, this is a very awkward boss fight, and this one might also not go according to plan. Sonic Blast is a game I have never played all the way through again because it's on the Game Gear, and I do not believe it ever had a Sega Master System port, so I never played it on that either. And there you go. Okay, so if we lose, brings us back here again. You can't complain about the music though; it's very good. Okay, so let's get on this platform. Does it hurt us from the side, despite the fact that it looks like it has spikes on it? No, it doesn't. That was just me flying into the fire there. But again, the small screen size. You can do a double jump of sorts by pressing the A button again, which actually allows you to jump so high that you go off screen. Okay, so yeah, the sound is definitely different when you hit him after he's done that arrow thing. But then again, those spikes stick out so far. Like, diagonal spikes were not exactly something that the doctor ordered on this small screen size, I don't think. Because when you can't see where when you go off screen and you can't even see where you're coming back down, like that's crazy. Now I understand why nobody talks about the Genesis Game Gear games, because they're just so questionable in so many ways. I mean, the boss in the first one is very basic, but I mean, it works for, you know, what the screen allowed it to do. Like, for you to have to do this weird kind of arc around the spike and then land back on top, because I don't think you can just hit it from underneath because he has like a spinning spike thing. Nah, this is another very awkward boss. Regardless though, I did beat 3 of them. So, I'm going to be at least 3 out of 6. So yeah, because you can't jump up to the bottom, right? No, because you get hit. And then, okay, so let's try, yeah. So let's try to hit him, or stop him from moving when he's as far to the right as possible. Okay. Okay. So there is a little bit more of a system to this than it looks like at first. But then those diagonal spikes are just terrible. Okay. Ooh, I don't see, how do you, oh, I mean, I guess if I had jumped a little bit, I don't know. Again, it seems like because of the small screen size, there are attacks that just are not avoidable. And I don't think that those are counting because I'm not fast enough. But if I rush, I'm definitely going to end up hitting the spikes, so. Okay, that one counted. That one I can jump above it. That one doesn't hurt me. This one I'm going to have to do like, okay, I don't even think I touched anything on that one. Yeah, nice, still hurt. That one I couldn't see where I was landing. Oh, the time is running out. Okay, okay. Seems like we've made enough progress that now the platform is moving. Which is strangely... I mean, again, that was just another situation of when it's off screen, or when I'm off screen, I don't know how I'm supposed to tell where I'm landing on him. If I can just keep getting 1 ring back, that would be nice. But yeah, I think that this boss isn't bad if it was in, like... Oh, I actually dodged that. A Genesis Sonic game. But when you go off screen and you can't see where you're coming back down, and the hitbox is so small, I definitely have a bit of an issue with that. And I guess we'll give it our all for 13 more seconds here before trying what is sure to be, an excellent attempt at Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, aka a Puyo Puyo, graphic swap. And I've never been the best at Puyo Puyo. I've always been more of a Tetris guy. I did get Puyo Puyo Tetris for the Switch, and I definitely enjoy like the Tetris parts more. Like I love the Tetris levels, Oh my gosh, this is faster than I'm ready for. And I love the Tetris levels, but I'm just not too into Puyo Puyo. I think it's a really cool game, and if you can get like, you know, chaining down and stuff, you can be really good at it and can probably be a lot of fun, but I definitely have more fun with Tetris, and this is just, wow, that is fast. Oh, okay, darn it, no, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, so we got the pink guys going on here. He's dumping extra stuff on me. Yeah, this is, for someone who's not the best Puyo Puyo player. So no matter what difficulty you're playing on, like, is this really how fast the final levels? I don't know if I've gotten one thing yet. Oh wow, I actually got a thing, okay. Watch, little do I know that the best combo is actually, like, forming below me right now. Okay. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. That was a test run. Now that I'm actually ready for what's about to come. Wow, okay. Okay, so I'm not getting any big combos, and when you get the big combos is when it sends a whole bunch of stuff over to his side, but I'm not stacking up a ridiculous amount of stuff either, so that's also a good thing. Ooh, a combo, yes, yes. That was totally intentional. Okay. Whoa, look at all that stuff I just dumped on him. Okay. I keep looking over, and because I have such a short amount of time to look up at where it says next before my next Puyo Puyo comes down, I always look at his by accident, so I think I'm getting the wrong thing. And that's where my my mistakes here have started coming from. Wait, did he just lose? Oh. Yeah! Okay. Yeah. I have never beaten Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine on the Game Gear before. So, there you go, everybody. I am the Puyo Puyo genius. Wow. And I was just pausing to explain why I was doing poorly, and little did I realize that I was actually kicking his butt. I'm not going to complain about that. Now we have 2 minutes and 20 seconds to watch the credits flow. And with that, we have fought all of the little boss kind of segments that you can unlock in the museum for Sonic's Gems collection. There are a couple other question marks there, but I believe that those are just movies that you unlock. I do not believe that there are any other Game Gear, I think I said Genesis a couple of seconds ago, Game Gear bosses in Sonic Gems collection that you can fight. AAA Arrow. Best name in the credits ever. And then Dave Albert. It's just so normal after, you know, AAA Arrow. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that, you know, if you were waiting for this video for all that time, you know, there you go. I hope that you enjoyed it. I really do not know exactly how, you know, what I will classify this video as. It's not really a random game of the day, especially considering I already played Sonic's Gem Collection as a random game of the day. So I guess it's just, you know, a for fun video that hopefully everybody had fun watching. And I do have plans. Oh, compile. Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's right, of course, because they were behind Puyo Puyo and Sega, of course, with the Sega stuff. I do not believe that Sega owned or had like the rights to Puyo Puyo at this point. Or did they? Because I mean, maybe they worked together and then later on they bought it. I'm pretty sure they have the rights to it now. And can we, you know, go back to the beginning, and it'd probably make you reset the game before you can get back there. So unfortunately, we cannot experience what this game is actually like. But yeah, I do have a lot of plans for like videos looking at my collection, and then just need a little bit of time before I'm ready to get back into that per se. But hopefully, you've enjoyed a couple of the more gameplay-oriented things that I've released in the last couple weeks. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all. For some other videos soon. I definitely still plan to make that video, you know, talking a little bit about where I've been and what my plans are for the future of this channel. And I also plan to ask everybody a little bit more about what content they would like to see going forward. So please keep an eye out for that coming up in the near future. So thank you everyone so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you next time for something different. So thanks, and see you later. Oh, wait! It faded to black. Oh, there we go. I have 2 seconds to enter my name. No!